Did you know that over 60 to 70% of people admit they turn to prayer during times of trouble? So let me ask you this. When was the last time you prayed for protection? Not just for the big challenges, but for the daily moments of life. We all have battles, and if we're honest, this world throws more than a few curveballs our way. But here's what I'm excited about. There's a power that comes through prayer, a strength and peace that can only come when we ask God to wrap His arms around us. Today we're talking about prayers for protection and support. I'm going to walk you through powerful ways to connect with God and invite Him into those moments when life feels overwhelming. So, grab a seat, lean in close, because if you've ever needed that divine backup, this is for you. Let's be real for a moment. Every one of us faces fears. Some we can name and others that just linger in the background. Maybe for you, it's anxiety over health, safety, or even just the unknown. The truth is, life can feel like we're walking on shaky ground, and we try to control it all, keeping everything just right so nothing falls apart. But what happens when we can't control everything? What happens when the plans fall through? When fear seems louder than faith? This is where prayer for protection comes in. It's like saying, "Oh, God, I need you in my corner. I need you to cover me because I can't do this alone." Prayer is our direct line to a God who doesn't just watch from a distance, but promises to stand with us, especially in those moments of fear. And that's why I'm talking about this today. Because if there's one thing I know, it's that God's got a way of stepping in, and when He does, things change. Now let's dive into some powerful ways to pray for protection. There are so many types of prayer, but these really stand out when you're looking for God's covering. Number one, prayer for physical protection. Whether it's for health, safety in travels, or just daily protection. This is what I call our bodyguard prayer. We see it in Psalm 91. He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. All your ways. That means God's got angels assigned to keep you safe even when you don't see the danger. Number two, prayer for emotional and mental protection. Now this one hits close. We may not always see physical harm, but negative thoughts and anxieties, those hit harder than any visible threat. Philippians 4:6-7 talks about the peace that guards our hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. This prayer is about asking God to be the guard at the gate of our thoughts, keeping out anything that doesn't line up with His truth. Number three, prayer for spiritual protection. This is our shield. Ephesians 6 talks about the armor of God that helps us stand firm against spiritual attacks. There's a battle for our hearts and souls, and we don't always see it. This is where we say, "God, give me strength to resist anything that tries to pull me from you." And here's the beauty of prayer. It's not about the perfect words, but about the heart behind it. When you call out to God, He hears you and He responds. Let me tell you a story that changed the way I think about protection and prayer. There was a time when someone close to me was dealing with serious health issues, and I felt completely helpless. I prayed, like really prayed. I asked God to protect them, to be with them when I couldn't be. And let me tell you, there was a peace that just settled over me, one I can't explain. It was like God was saying, "I've got this." The situation didn't change overnight, but my heart did. I felt covered, knowing that whatever happened, we were in God's hands. You may have your own story like this, or maybe you're in one right now. I'm here to remind you, when you pray, God listens. He hears every word, and He moves in ways we don't always see. That's the power of prayer. Remember, you're never alone.